Well, I want to just quickly start by saying that I am so very pleased and grateful and gratified to be here. My name is Sunita Das Patel. I am based here in the United States. I think I have a few friends here in the audience, okay? But I am based here, but I am originally from India, and I am a human rights advocate, okay? We are doing fine there, okay? And I am working currently with an NGO that is based in Delhi, but we kind of, we are floating around there. And actually, I first met Sarah Jones in India when she was performing with the UN. She was kind of touring around, and she's a very nice woman, a bit tall, but other than that, she fit in quite well. And I want to tell you, since I have been traveling with her, this is probably my favorite opportunity to kind of take the stage and be able to spend time with, frankly, a group of people that I actually want to meet. But please keep that in this room, okay? First of all, the fact that we will be attending here, typically my work, it takes me to Washington, D.C., and there I must attend meetings, mingling with some politicians who are trying to make me feel comfortable by telling how often they are eating the curry in Georgetown. There is that. But I will also tell you that my human rights work actually grew out of two different parts of my life. The first is my training. I am a medical doctor by training, okay? Usually we have to go back and forth about the stereotype, but I'm sorry, I went to medical school and that is what I did. And by the way, I always have to tell people wherever we travel, that I may look familiar, but actually here one lady thought that she recognized me from Jackson Hospital, but that's a different Indian doctor, okay? I joke that I am often the victim of mistaken ID, except in my case, ID, it stands for Indian doctor. Okay. It's a small bit of humor there, small, but okay. But then there is the other part of my identity, and I mentioned my work in Washington, and what I did not say is that occasionally I found myself speaking at hearings related to health, and what I also did not mention is that these would sometimes be attended by the former Senator Rick Santorum. And I always enjoyed sharing that in addition to being a doctor, I am also a very proud and outspoken lesbian. Why, thank you. Well, he in particular considered such things to be impolite topics of conversation. So he is sorely missed. As someone who is concerned both with LGBT rights and human rights in general, both in the kind of international sphere and also here in the United States, I just want to say that Outgiving, it offers precisely the kind of hope that we need to kind of sustain our work. And, I will say that originally I wanted to give a paper and a PowerPoint presentation on LGBT health issues. Well, I wanted to give lots of data, because we always need more data. Well, I mean, let's face it, we even have data which supports the data that one can never have enough data. Right. But you all know everything there is to know, and, I will say that, coming from a human rights background and working with an NGO and kind of also partnering with the UN, we are always kind of discussing these LGBT issues and the intersectionality with the kind of context of the Millennium Development Goals, right? Right, the MDGs. Okay, but I do think that sometimes people seem to believe Millennium Development Goals means we should all sit back and relax, since we have at least 1,000 years before we have to do anything about that. I mean, really. So, but I jest, but I want to point out the fact that you all are having an impact now, and that is the entire point of what you are doing, and that by connecting the LGBT community to other movements for justice, you are dispelling this very pervasive myth that there is a kind of us versus them agenda. And I think that on a serious note, that for people to realize that LGBT issues should be the concern of anyone engaged in any form of human rights work. That is the goal, right? And to realize that whether we are speaking of tragedies like what happened to David Cato or the bullying that affects our LGBT youth, we know that wherever there is ignorance, intolerance, that the culture of violence and inhumanity will certainly follow, right? And unfortunately, Glenn Beck, etc. Okay. I want to say also that the fact that you are all giving so generously, right? This is kind of the crux of the thing, because I believe that poverty itself, in a world in which such a chasm between the haves and have-nots continues to kind of widen, that itself is an insidious form of violence, which prevents our fellow human beings from living self-determining lives, right? And without self-determination and the freedom to live in dignity, there can be no discussion of true sexual equality and the freedom to love in dignity, right? So I think that these are the rights which you all are protecting for all of us, whether we are living comfortably in the North and we kind of never miss an episode of Glee, or whether we are living in the global South and have never seen a television, right? So I can't thank you all enough for doing so much, each of you in your own way, and to just point out that there really is no such thing as us and them anymore. There is only us, whether we identify as gay, bi, trans, questioning, or one of my fellow lesbian sisterhood, as Kate Clinton called you. Hello, you too. I'm teasing. I've seen at least 7 or 8 eligible-looking women walking around this place. Okay. But truly, I just also want to thank you for making it a great time. I know that it can be so difficult for us to sometimes have a personal life when you are focused on these larger issues. And I can even share that, in that spirit of marriage equality, I kind of had this pact with a cousin that I hope that I would be able to marry so that we could have a double wedding. And while we have not yet gotten to that point, let us just say family pressures have been such that she is getting married. And I am helping to do the planning of that. And believe me, I have enough on my plate without having to deal with this, which is a traditional Hindu-Indian marriage ceremony. So if you're not familiar with that, just try to conjure any wedding planning nightmare you can. Multiply it by about 5, and add elephants, and then really you will have a sense of the scope. But we must soldier on and continue doing what we can. So thank you for giving me a respite from all of that. You really throw a cracking good party. Thank you so much.